And hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. So tonight, Rossie and I are going to be reviewing The Last of Us. This is actually the season finale of The Last of Us, and we have a lot to cover as far as this finale goes. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this Last of Us review for the season finale. And let's do this, guys. Hey, Rossie, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys doing? How are you, John?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And hello to everyone that's watching and listening to us on the podcast. I do appreciate that. People do. And so this is the season finale of The Last of Us. And my first initial thoughts was this, because I heard rumors and rumblings like they're going to be focusing on Abby and stuff. And I'm like, okay,
Right.
I don't care. I'm not going to tune in for season 3. I'm just not going to do it. I don't care about Abby. I don't care about anything. I'm good.
Right.
Then they give us that whole they sopranoed me at the very end of it.
Right.
I get cutting it to black. I'm like, okay, now I have to do season 3.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there you go. But
I
yeah,
was I didn't know it was the finale. I think it is. And then when we got to the end and it goes off and you see that it's day 1 in Seattle with Abby, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, but how are we going to do this? Next week we're going to have they're not going to be able to shove this all in one episode until I realize, oh my gosh, you are watching the finale. This is it. This is how it ends. Man, good episode.
I thought it was a pretty solid episode. I'm going to be
Yeah.
honest with you. I definitely love the stuff of there's consequences behind every action and every
Right.
motive,
Right.
especially when Tommy and then you have Jesse saying, "Hey, look, we're going home. We're not going to do this whole entire revenge tour that you want to go on.
Right. Right.
We need to go back." And then even Jesse winds up telling her about Dina because he figured out that she's pregnant. He goes,
Yes.
"I'm not going to let her go through this. I have a pregnant woman that needs me. We're
Right.
going back home." In her own, and here's the thing, Ellie had every opportunity to turn back.
Yes.
No, she just kept on going, and the deeper she went, the more darker that she got. Not only
Right.
that, but now it seems like there's no turning back from her.
Right.
Now seems like this is who she is, especially about when what happens later on. We'll get to it in a few minutes.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I thought the finale was pretty good.
Yeah. I look at Ellie as she's become so much like Joel. You know what I mean? Just
Mhm.
that needing revenge and just everything that she didn't like about him. She is that in this episode. I mean, at the cost of even risking their lives. And we get why she's doing this. We get she's trying to avenge Joel's death, and it was wrong how it went down. But at certain points, you realize, like, Ellie, what are you doing? Think about what you're doing. You love Dina, and you're still like, it's like you said, she got darker and darker. And I agreed with a lot of what Jesse was trying to tell her. Like, this is it. We are going home. Look at the situation they got into right before, when she was lost out in those woods with those dogs and barely made it back. Dina's injured now, and she's still wanting to go, and freaking out on Jesse because he's actually talking sense. And like I said, we get where Ellie's coming from, but that hothead, she's just such a hothead and just wants to fight an army. And it's like,
Right.
you may have the cure, but you're not invincible. Like, you can be God, like, come on, Ellie.
Exactly. But not only that, though, Rossi, like, even when she gets over to where the Ferris wheel and all that stuff is, like, before she gets to that point, you see all these boats. You see Isaac. You see all these people rolling out.
Right.
I'm just one freaking person. There's no
Right.
way in hell I'm going to be able to do what I said I was going to do.
Right.
Here's a
And
whole army.
it shows her immaturity. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, she's mature, but that shows her immaturity because I'm like, is she getting ready to shoot her gun? It's going to be loud. And thank goodness when she saw a little bit of light, and then you see all of the boat lights come on and she drops back down. It's like, that's what I'm saying. She'll just go head into it and not think about it, So yeah.
Let's see. Brandy says that she was really disappointed that she didn't try to save the baby. So she was talking about the part where Ellie winds up shooting the woman on an
Yeah.
accident because basically she was just trying to threaten the boyfriend and not trying
Right.
to kill him. but she winds up killing him, but also not only killing him, but also killing an innocent and also
Right.
killing a baby who's also innocent. So
Right.
basically, she killed 3 lives there. But the thing that I said was, Dina's pregnant. So what if it was Dina? I was putting myself out there like,
Hmm.
what if it was Dina and she was in this position? Would
Right.
Ellie be able to do what this woman asked her to do?
Right. Right.
And the answer is no. And even when it wasn't the fact that she didn't want to save this woman, it's the whole fact that she doesn't know what the hell she's doing.
Right.
And that's the same thing with Dina. She doesn't know what the hell she's doing with this baby situation either.
Right.
So it's kind of like that thing, that sense of, yeah, there's a baby coming, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
Situation.
Yeah, and that scene also, showed when she accidentally shot the pregnant lady, who, to be honest, now she was with, Abby, and all that stuff went down, and she was one that did not want to do it, but it's kind of like, you're in concert with them, so, but you can tell when you have moments with Ellie where she honestly doesn't want to hurt anyone. She doesn't want to involve anyone in it, just give her what she needs, she'll go. She doesn't want to shoot anyone, especially humans, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
she's really super compassionate, and you see that. It broke her to have done that. And I think also, the fact that the woman was pregnant, and like you said, Dina's pregnant, and what if that was Dina and and someone did that to her? So you do see parts of Ellie where she's a really good person. She has a
Yep.
really good heart. She's just morphing into Joel in certain aspects of things that she does.
Right, because if you think about it, if you start hanging around with somebody that isn't good for you, or if
Right.
you are just hanging around with someone, some of those mannerisms is going to wind up rubbing off
Yeah.
on you.
Yeah.
Therefore, you become just as jaded as that person that you're hanging out with.
Right.
But I think because of the fact that, with that situation, I don't think she knew what she was doing. She was trying to save her, but she didn't know what
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
It
She didn't know
wasn't
where
the
to cut, how
right.
deep. She didn't know.
She was frantic. She was like, tell me, how do I cut? Where do I cut
Right.
at? How big
Right.
is the incision? How do I do this?
Right.
So, that's how I took it, and I understood from that level. Brandy says, I think if Ellie survives, she won't be able to erase that from her mind. No,
Oh yeah,
definitely
I
not.
agree. Yeah. I
That's
agree. That's
something
gonna eat her up. Absolutely.
right. Even during the documentary of the making of this episode, they even said the same thing. That's going to carry weight into the next season as
Right.
well.
Okay. Okay.
So that's something I do
Yes.
appreciate with the fact that we have cause and effect with
Right.
that. And they even said it themselves that this is going to follow through in the next season.
Okay.
So, but then you get to that other thing though, too. Like, she's like, oh, I know where Abby is. She's up on the Ferris wheel. I'm like,
Yes.
do you though? Do you? And she's like, she's shooting at Tommy. Do we really know she's shooting at Tommy?
Yeah. At that point, I'm wanting Ellie follow Jesse's lead. Okay. Just follow his lead. Go back, get Tommy. You guys need to get the hell up out of there. There's too much going on. You got this cult group that's out there. You have this huge militant group that's out there. At some point, it's like, Ellie, go home. Take Dina home. Dina's injured. You know, get her out of there. Take her home. And so when they had that argument and they decided, when he was like, listen, you can do it on your own. And I agree with him. We have other things to take care of. We got to stop this tour that she's on, and we know it's not happening. And so
No.
of course, proceeds forward, without him.
Let's see. Fernando Garcia. Holy shit, I'm the only one watching. Hey man, how's it going? But you're right though. This is a whole revenge tour. She needs to turn her ass back around and think about what she's doing, but she's not.
Right.
She's immature for her age. Not only that, but yeah, you
Yeah.
can be 20, but you're actually just acting like 16 or 17.
Right. Yeah.
But I do want to mention this, like with Jesse, when they're looking over everything,
Hmm.
and Jesse's like, "Look, we need to go. Ellie.
Right.
We just have to go." And there's also the fact that Jesse is more mature. He's also the one who voted
Yes.
against Ellie and them going in the first place.
Oh
And
man,
that
when she,
pissed her off.
oh man, that hurt her heart because You know, she's thinking that because they love Joel, that they love Joel the way that she loves Joel. And they're able to think clearly on this. She's not, because I mean, come on, she lost her dad, you know. So finding that out, it was like, ouch, like, you know, a betrayal to her. You know, you betrayed me. I thought you know, we would all do this together. And her not just looking at the reality of the situation, you know?
Right, because here's the thing. That town is a little small hick town. You have
Yeah.
an army that
Yes.
is going after this other war, and Ellie was also going to go ahead and shoot at these other guys. There's 3-1, as he said,
Right.
and
Yes.
you're wanting to save this other dude's life. He goes, look, it's not our war.
Right.
We're only here after one objective, is to get you and Dina out of here. So I
Right.
understood from Jesse's standpoint with that. It's like, hey,
Yes.
look, we're not going to be a casualty of war. This is not our war. We're going to go
Right.
on ahead. We're going to get ourselves out of here. We're not going to try and save this person's life. And not
Right.
only that, but what's to say? Because don't forget, they actually hunger later on.
Yes, they did.
So what makes you think that this person would actually, even if you save this person, what makes you think that that he won't turn around and try and kill you?
Yeah, it's like everyone's an enemy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everyone out there is an enemy. Outside of Jackson, that's how you have to look at folks. And I like I said, I give it to the fact that she sees a human being that needs help. She sees a kid that needs help. But she's not thinking about, like you said, how are you going to help him if you're dead? How are you going to help, you know, Dina, if you're dead? And it's like like you said, her immaturity doesn't allow her to think that far. Or maybe it's just, I won't say that. I'll say it's her anger, her hatred for what happened
That
to
makes more
Joel
sense.
that, you know, won't allow her to think about that. You know what I mean? So
Right.
not her immaturity, it's the hatred that she has. And we get it. Like, I hate that Joel died, you know, but come on, Ellie, you know, yeah, episode was
But
packed.
it was definitely packed with a
Yeah.
lot of stuff. And then even when she gets now, I remember my wife and I are both watching, and then this is also the kid. Okay, speaking of my wife,
Yeah.
the kid would
Yeah.
have
So
killed
true.
her if the roles were reversed. Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
Yes.
But I also want to mention this. Like, there's also that one part in the storm where Ellie gets the boat,
Yes.
and my wife and I, Brandy and I, are both like, "Girl, you need to just turn her back around. Do not do this. This is dangerous."
Right.
And then she goes on ahead and she goes to this little island where they are.
Yeah.
I call it Gilligan's Island because there's and they hang her up. They're about to skin her.
Yes.
And I know some people said that they didn't really like that scene because it's like, oh, we heard a noise. Okay, well, sorry, my bad. We didn't mean to hang you up.
You know, yeah, you know, with that scene, the thing about it is with that scene, there's so much more that happens. You know what I mean? In the game, there's an island, there's a side quest where you're helping these two
Mhm.
people that helped her out, and they want to go and save their mom from the invasion that's coming from the militants. So, you know, with that scene, it was like, okay, they cut it short because it's just too much. It's too much extra to go into. It's a whole
Right.
side story. So, but yeah, the way that they cut it though, I mean, it was kind of cheesy. Like, oh, now she gets saved. We heard noise, you know, but in the game, there is noise. There is, you know, you see the island, you know, the little town on
Mhm.
fire. But yeah, the way they cut that and just saved her, it's like, why even put that in there?
Right, because she could have been anybody, even though she said,
Yeah,
I'm not, I have nothing to do with this other crew
right,
or anything. You could be BSing them, but
right.
yet you hear a noise and your town's burning. I get it,
Yeah,
but come on, make it a little bit
yeah,
more
yeah,
threatening. Like you go up to her and
yeah,
you're threatening her with the blade. At least Negan in The Walking Dead had the baseball bat, and he was
yeah,
gonna make,
right,
and he was a lot more threatening. Use
right.
the blade that was gonna skin her, and go up to her and it's like, and say, "Tell me again, are you innocent or what? What's your
Right.
deal?" Make it more threatening, at least if you're trying to do something different.
Give her that
But
smile they got, you know what I mean? Give
right,
her a little bit of that smile, you know what I mean? Let her
right,
walk away with that, you know? So yeah,
right.
that scene was just, yeah, they had to.
And I thought for sure Jesse, not Jesse, but Tommy was going to save her. That was the thing I was
Yes,
expecting.
okay. Okay.
Because how many times have we seen Norman Reedus save people over and over again with his
All the
bow and
time.
arrow? So
All
I'm
the
thinking, okay.
time.
So I'm thinking, okay, Jesse's going to step in and Uncle Jesse is going to step in and take care of it. Nope. Like, okay,
No,
just a
man.
convenience. And then she goes in her boat and then goes over to the aquarium. It's like, oops, my
Listen,
bad, guys.
she's
Didn't mean to
not
land
giving
here.
up.
No, but it's just. I can't help but laugh though, Rossi. Yes, I'm
Seriously,
supposed to
she's
be
like, it's happening. It's happening. She's going after.
right,
Sorry.
but it just was kind of comical in a sense, though, right? It's like, oops, my bad, guys. I didn't mean to land here. Let me turn back around and go to the aquarium. Have a good day. Have a good time with your war. But what do you think?
Right. No, I thought the scene in the boat was a beautiful scene. I love just the ocean, the backdrop of when the lightning would happen. You'd see, Seattle and how the buildings look, and just it was a beautiful scene. I love that scene. It was really pretty how they shot that with her going across in the boat. So I just want to point that out. I mean, the world that they live in is amazingly beautiful, how they made it look. Side
I
note.
agree. I definitely agree with you. I mean, it looks beautiful. It looks threatening. There's a storm happening. The waves. I'm like, girl, this is
Yes.
high tide waves. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, then finally she gets to the aquarium, and then that's when we wind up running into the pregnant woman and the boyfriend and stuff like that. And
Right.
and then she makes it through all that, and because Jesse and also Tommy show up, and then they walk back over to the theater.
Yeah.
And I knew Jesse wasn't gonna make it, just because I've seen a bunch of cutscenes and stuff. So yeah, I kind of spoiled it for myself. I'm like, yeah, he's not gonna make it. But
Yeah, that was it, even though he's not, it was just shocking. It happened so fast, and you see him laying there, and it's like, I like Jesse as a character, but he was going. And I have to say, the young lady that's playing Abby, I can't think of her name, but she's doing an amazing job of bringing this character to life. So believable. I love this character, and it, they just did a really good job with, I think, casting in this and casting Abby for this. She's absolutely brutal, and when that final shot goes off, it's like, wait, and the screen goes black. So then you're wondering, what happened? Who did she shoot? You know what I mean?
right,
Yeah. If there's a season 3 and it's Abby, well, we're gonna see Abby's, day one, and then leading up to that season finale. How are they gonna handle that? Is it gonna be different than the game?
exactly. And this is what I want to bring up, though, Russ. Like, you have Jesse, who's selfless, who thinks about
Yes.
others. And when they have that heart to heart moment on the stage, even if you're not expecting him to die at that moment, you already
Yeah.
know that it's going to end soon for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
As soon as you have a selfless character, as soon as you have someone that is caring and loves Dina
Right.
and loves Ellie just as equal,
Right.
and I already knew he's going to die. But then they run, and after they hear Tommy's on the floor, and they're hiding, and then she winds up finding out, hey, it's Abby. And so I always have a saying: if you keep on knocking on people's doors, something's going to knock back.
Right.
And so happens to be Abby just conveniently finds them,
Yeah.
and I just thought it was kind of weird on how she finds them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the lights are on in the theater. Huh. Not one of my crew. Okay, let's see what's going on. So,
No, I thought that too. I was like, dang, she's already here.
right,
Like she found him like that. I thought the same thing. It was odd that she was just in the theater,
right. I
just
think
found
that's
the theater.
right, and I think that's why we actually have to have the Abby story in a sense, not just to show what she has
Yes.
to go through, because she's supposed to be the next person to take over
Yes.
this army. Because
Yes.
remember, the girl's like, the woman who's talking to Isaac is like, "Are you in love with her?" I'm like, that's kind of odd thing to say to a
Right.
man that's 10 times her age.
Right.
But even Isaac even questions that too. Why she would ask him that. So I like how you have a character even questioning her own motives as to why she would ask him that.
Right.
But not only do we have to see how that plays out with Abby, seeing her because she's supposed to be the one who takes over this army, but also
Yes.
too about how she got to point A to point B, how she found them. So I
Yeah.
think that would actually uncover a lot of stuff that we are having questions about
Yes.
as far as that goes. But to see the fact that Tommy's laying on the floor
Mm,
and looks over at Ellie and she goes,
right.
I let you live and you wasted it by coming after me.
Yeah, she was irate, absolutely irate. And granted, she, found her ex-boyfriend, a man that she really adored, and her other friend who was pregnant, So yeah, done, absolutely irate. And the way that she looks and realizes that who it is, that is Ellie, and just that look of, like you said, how dare you? How dare
Right.
you still come after me? You should have been somewhere else right now. You should not be here. And knowing Abby and Abby's character, Abby will take care of it. Abby will shoot, like she has
Exactly.
no love, no heart because of what happened to her father.
Exactly. And I
Yeah,
feel like also too, Ellie is also has that moral compass gone too because of Joel being taken away from her
right.
as well.
I don't
So
know. I find Ellie to have more of a heart. You know what I mean? And like you said, we don't know who Abby is until the next season, and we'll be able to see her side. But like in certain instances, like when Ellie, accidentally shot the pregnant woman, and she had to shoot the guy because I mean he reached for his gun, and she is quite a quick draw, I must say. She's definitely learned, but that tore her up, and like Brandy said that, and we know that's gonna go through the next season. We're gonna see that from her and her hurt from that. It's like she has compassion for people. Abby just,
it's cold blooded.
yeah, just absolutely cold blooded. It's both that hatred that both girls are carrying around because they both lost their fathers, and so Abby definitely hates the world, and she has no one else. There is no other family. Her dad was her everything.
Exactly. And
You
then
know.
but then, well, the actress who plays Abby is named Caitlin Denver. Just want to
Okay.
let you know about that. But then she even says that Ellie winds up telling her, "Hey, I'm the cure,"
Right.
as well. So she goes, "Yeah, I know what Joel did. Yeah, he rescued me. He shot your father.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I thought the season was pretty. There was some stuff that was like kind of sloppy writing here and there with things. It wasn't a perfect season, but I feel like this: if you can go on ahead and have a good start, and you have a couple of episodes that are kind of flimsy,
Right.
it's how you finish the season out
Right.
is the thing, because that's basically the Super Bowl and the playoffs, right?
Yes.
Is the season finale. If you land the last 3 episodes or the last 2 episodes, you're in good shape. But if you fumble the ball all the way through the whole entire season,
Yeah.
guess what? People are not going to tune in. And
Right.
people have been dropping off on it because of the stuff. But
Right.
at the same time, though, I think that they knocked it out of the park with the way that they did the finale for Abby.
Yeah. Yeah, the finale was really good. And you hear mixed reviews of some people not really caring for this season, I love the story, so I enjoy the story. I understand that this season was kind of quiet, it was kind of slow, but you know, dealing with Joel and knowing how the game dealt with that, I understood why the season was like it was. I mean, in this season, you don't have the survival that they had in that first season. You know what I mean? Like they're meeting each other, they're going through so much. They have to survive in this season, but you get to see more of their home life, their, how it was in Jackson, like normalcy, and then you have, when they leave the camp and whatnot. But yeah, it wasn't as much of a ride as the first season was. So I understand that. I just really like the story. I enjoy the story. I enjoyed the season. It was a little slow. I agree with you, but the finale, the way that it went out, the episode last week, really good.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think they gave us something good.
I think so too. I really enjoyed the season. I also want to mention this. I've been hoping that they would have actually dropped some type of reference to a rock band from Seattle in the grunge
Yes.
era. I was thinking, okay, are they going to use Soundgarden? Are they going to use
Yeah. Right.
Nirvana? They wind up using Soundgarden at the very end.
Right.
And I just want to mention this. I'm a huge music nerd, but they use "Burning in My Hands," and basically it's because of the fact that the song was used to emphasize the complex emotions of the characters, especially with Ellie
Okay.
and Dina, as they
Okay.
navigate the events of the episode.
Okay.
So I thought it was actually pretty cool on how they used a band from Seattle,
Right.
and they have the characters in Seattle, and they also have that complexity, and they're able to use the song as a way to tell a story through the characters that way.
Right.
So
Yeah. Absolutely agree.
So my question for you guys is the ones that you guys are listening at home or just watching us. What did you think of this season? Did you feel like some parts it wasn't for you, but they did a good job at the end, like I do? Or do you feel like Rossi as well, where the season worked for you, everything just clicked, it was fantastic? I want tell us your thoughts because this is not about what we think; it's about what you guys think too, and we love to have that conversation, that connection with you guys because we love this stuff just as much as you do. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing an after show every single week when this
Right.
show is out. So tell us what you guys think in the comments, even after the show. Tell it, and also too, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe button. Rossi, do you have anything as far as your shows go or anything?
Yes, on June 9th, you guys, I have Sacramento ciphers called they're called Look Cipher, and they're really dope. They do a lot of things with a lot of the artists in the community, rap artists. If you enjoy ciphers, you will really love this group of guys. Yes, Look Cipher. And let's see, and so much more, guys. There's just so many more that's coming. July is going to be the month of music on Rossie's Clubhouse, so have a lot of great artists for you. You can also expect Sacramento rapper Sonae. She'll be coming on. She's absolutely dope. I cannot wait to have her on the show, and so many more, you guys. So tune in.
Okay. Well, guys, I just want to let you guys know this. I will have Stu and Smith coming back, and they're coming back on June 29th. That's on a Sunday at 2 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And we are going to be reviewing I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yes.
So take a look. So go on ahead, mark your calendars down for that one. I do have the Doom Generation podcast coming back
Nice.
in August, and I'm excited to have them back. They're fantastic. If you don't listen to you need to listen to their Doom Generation podcast.
Right.
Like their whole entire bit on Short Circuit made me not even look at Short Circuit again, the same again. Basically, they were saying it was like softcore porn, but because of the way that they addressed everything, I was just dying laughing between the two of them. It was just
Nice.
nonstop laughter.
Nice.
So check out Doom Generation. They're going to be coming back. And also, too, check out Stereo Mom whenever I did the review with them. That's only going to be living on the YouTube channel. Then on June 11th, we actually have a comedian. We have Josh Prayer coming in at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. We're going to be just chatting it up with him. If you guys are a fan of different movies and stuff like that, we're going to be chatting it up about that. It's just going to be a great overall just conversation. So mark your calendars, June 11th, not June 11th. Yeah, June 11th,
June 11th.
8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time for Josh Prayer. He's a fantastic comedian. Check him out on Facebook. You guys are going to die laughing. But yeah, that's everything that we have going on over here at Movie Lovers Tonight.
Really quick. Also, guys, I totally failed to mention, I'm going to have Amanda Cook back on the show from DM Studios out in Sacramento. Her and I will be reviewing Mommy Dearest, and that's going to be in early June. So can't wait for you guys to join Amanda and I.
Okay. Oh,
That's
yeah.
it.
Don't forget, you also have Kristen coming back as well.
Yes, yes, Kristen Duff, who starred in a movie with Eric Roberts. She'll be coming back to the show. Her interview will probably start in late July. All right, you guys. She's in school. It's summer break, so let her do her thing. So, Kristen, I cannot wait to have you back on the show.
All right. Well, guys, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe button, and don't forget about June 11th for
Yes.
Josh Prayer. because trust me, if you want to giggle, he's the right person to actually do it for you. All right, guys. Have a great and safe night, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.